On the Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. On TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube. On radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 4 p.m.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
You're not on Broadway. Well, you might be on Broadway, but be careful. There's some construction in St. Charles. Is that Maple Street? Maple Street? Yeah, you right? Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson with you. All right. Some good stuff going on out there. Besides the fact that it's a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Plus, I'm with you every weekday afternoon from 4 to 6, so close to Friday getting started officially, a.k.a. the weekend. And since it's New Orleans, there's usually something good going on, some good food, some good music, some good friends, family, something going on good. I'll tell you what's going on bad. Oppressive heat out there right now. My goodness. Muy caliente. Be careful. Stay hydrated. Seriously. It's hot outside. Like 93 degrees feels like 100 plus. 93 feels like 100 plus. No, it is oppressive heat. There is some cloud cover. It could stir up with the heat, an afternoon thunder shower, but right now, mostly sunny. It's a little hazy, but mostly sunny. If you're like, fair skinned, you go outside with like a shirt off for the first time in a few months, you will get burned within about 15 or 20 minutes. You will get a burn within 15 or 20 minutes without any kind of sunblock or whatever. No, the heat is intense. And we've been kind of skirting by all June long with these pop-up afternoon showers, a lot of cloud cover every day. So we've been in the 80s most of the time. And a lot of like 88, 89, 90, the high temperature, like all of June. And the feels like 88, 89, 90. Not a big difference from the temperature and feels like. Now we've got 93 degrees out there and it feels north of 100. So lots of agua. Stay hydrated. Water, H2O, the good stuff. Drink lots of it in the summer. I mean, can you drink too much water? I guess so, but in New Orleans, man, if you're doing anything outside, folks that do stuff outside, they know today is a much more intense day, a scorcher compared to the last few weeks in June. Did I say stay hydrated in this stuff? Did I mention it's a Fantasy Friday? Yeah, you're right. Less than an hour away from 5 o'clock, less than an hour away from the 5 o'clock whistle. I love the 5 o'clock whistle. It's our little way of notifying the world that the weekend's cranking up. The work week officially in the books for most folks and the weekend just starting. And because work weeks and weekends, time just flying by quickly, you got to, recognize these key moments like a Friday afternoon after 5 p.m. We smell the roses by blowing the 5 o'clock whistle. Hey, the 4 o'clock hour this afternoon, what we're doing right now, brought to you by Total Maintenance. I don't know about you, but I don't want to learn about air conditioning. I unequivocally trust Lucas and his crew at Total Maintenance. Plus, they're air conditioning experts, over 30 trucks, over 30 techs, literally hundreds of years of air conditioning experience. I've mentioned this before. I had a little breakdown about a year and a half ago. Lucas diagnosed it over the phone. His guys were out there in about 40 minutes, and he was right. They fixed it quickly. They're not replacing parts, plural, trying to figure it out. So they're honest. They're air conditioning experts, and they come immediately. In this heat, this scorcher, especially today, if your AC is not working right or worse, not working at all, Total Maintenance is there. In New Orleans, in Baton Rouge, if you need air conditioning help, think Total Maintenance, tm-ac.com. If you need air conditioning help in New Orleans or Baton Rouge, think Total Maintenance, tm-ac.com. The 4 o'clock hour on this Fantasy Friday brought to you by Total Maintenance. In less than 10 minutes, another edition of Fridays with Fletch. Yeah, you right, Fletcher Mackle. Lots to discuss, including LSU and Coastal Carolina. A lot on the line this weekend, like a national championship. Best 2 out of 3. They play Saturday, Sunday, and if needed on Monday. Fletcher Mackel will fill us in on that. Plus a whole lot of other stuff going on. NBA Finals. It's down to a 1-game finals. Doesn't get any better than this. 7-game series, all knotted up at 3 apiece. Indiana taking care of business at home, forcing that game 7. You know, it's unreal. The NBA playoffs started 2 months ago. The NBA playoffs started 2 months ago. Right around the time Coastal Carolina lost their last game. Fridays with Fletch in just a few minutes. Scott Craig's going to join us to end this hour and start the 5 o'clock powwow. Scott Craig from Katie's and Francesca. Katie's in Mid-City, Francesca in Lakeview. He's just a yatty New Orleanian like me, like Fletcher Mackel, just chopping it up. 5:20, 5 o'clock power hour. Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans Inc., a little over an hour away. We got a lot to discuss. Infrastructure, crime, the international terminal, and down in St. Bernard where life is hard, hard, hard. The NOLA Coalition and this connection to UNO. And, yeah, Mishu out in New Orleans East. Rocket building. Or no rocket building. The Trump administration cutting NASA's budget by $5 billion from $24 billion to $19. And essentially you're saying we're abandoning everything you're doing out in New Orleans East. The rocket, the capsule, everything being built in New Orleans East, we're abandoning that. And we're going to have, SpaceX or Origins or one of these folks do it. Go to the moon, go to Mars. That's hundreds, if not over 1,000 white-collar engineering type jobs, super high-quality manufacturing jobs at the highest level, space, aerospace. No, to lose those jobs is unacceptable, especially with a Steve Scalise and a John Kennedy representing us, right? Scalise and Kennedy need to save these jobs in New Orleans East. Period. End of story. No ifs, ands, or buts. If they can't do that, honestly, then what are they good for? This is where the rubber hits the road and the you-know-what hitting the fan if we lose those jobs. So Michael Hecht in an hour discussing all of that and more. Yeah, you're right. August 1st, a lot going on. Will Troy Henry Consulting take over the trash contract in the quarter in the CBD, or will IV Waste continue after August 1st? We'll see. August 1st, this is good news. No speed cameras in Louisiana except for school zones starting August 1st. Of course, New Orleans isn't acknowledging the new law. They're trying to figure it out. Come August 1st, no traffic cameras at all because school won't even be in session. So come August 1st in New Orleans, no school zone, no traffic cameras at all. And then when school kicks in, only for an hour before that particular school has their first bell, and only an hour after that school has its last bell. There's no more just arbitrary 7:15 to 9:15, 2:45 to 4:45, these huge 2-hour blocks in the morning, 2-hour block in the afternoon. The school could be closed that day. They could have started 15 minutes into the 2 hours. So for another hour and 45 minutes with no students or teachers anywhere, the 20-mile-an-hour zone's going. No, they changed the law an hour before the first bell, an hour after. That's it. If you're going to have speed cameras in the school zone. And New Orleans, that's all they'll be able to have come August 1st. Thank goodness. Now that was a promise from LaToya the Destroyer Cantrell, Junket Cantrell. Get rid of the school zone. She reneged on it. No, I'm not going to do that. We need the taxes. You knew what it was about. That was just a political ploy. Also, August 1st, law enforcement's going to start enforcing folks that drive in the left lane like you're doing right now listening to me. Out in New Orleans East on I-10, you're driving in the left lane right now instead of being in the middle or the right lane. You folks on the causeway, driving in the left lane instead of being in the right lane. You folks heading from Kenner to Laplace on the twin span, driving in the left lane instead of passing and getting over to the right. Stay out of the left lane unless you are passing a vehicle. That's the law, and they're going to start enforcing it, and I'm glad. Left lane, only for passing. Only for passing. No, law enforcement's going to start enforcing this existing law August 1st. That's a good thing. These are good things. Traffic cameras going away except for school zones in New Orleans and the rest of the state. Jefferson got rid of them years ago. And no driving in the left lane. It's going to start being enforced. That's a good thing. Yeah, it's against the law to drive in the left lane. No exceptions. The speed limit's irrelevant. Coming right back with Fletcher Mackel.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you on a Friday, Fantasy Friday edition of the program. It's no fantasy. It's Fletcher Mackel from Channel 6. What up, Fletch?
No, hi, Corey. What's up?
SOS, same old thing. How about with you? Boy, today's a scorcher, huh?
Today is pretty pretty brutal, yeah.
God, man.
Yeah.
We were getting by with this, pop-up stuff and really staying in the 80s all in June. Like 88, 89, 90 is the high. Now it's like 93 feels like a buck something. Harsh. Stay hydrated.
It's, yeah. So.
That's where the electric bike comes in handy.
100%, yes. It does create a nice little breeze going 20 miles an hour.
You fix the tire. It's back in operation.
Oh, yeah, we're good to go.
All right. Watch out for Fletcher Mack on the electric bike. All right. Let's get down to business. You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
This is intriguing, isn't it? I mean, it's LSU, this baseball power, and it's Coastal Carolina, and you're like, who? Not Duke or Wake Forest or North Carolina or NC State or South Carolina. It's Coastal Carolina. But they've won a national title. I love this, Fletch, this like double revenge gimmick. In 2016, Coastal Carolina went to Bertman Box, and defeated LSU in the Super Regional, and they went to Omaha, knocking LSU out when they were the overwhelming favorite to advance to Omaha. Also in 2016, Coastal Carolina beats Arizona for the national title, and they were coached by Jay Johnson. So the LSU skipper wants revenge. The LSU team as a whole wants some revenge against this Coastal Carolina team. All that's good for the chalkboard. Talk about that, but talk about what Coastal Carolina is all about. They haven't lost in 2 months. They have 3 very good pitchers. You don't make it this far and beating everybody if you're not legitimate.
No, you're right. And so, look, for people that don't know, Coastal Carolina is a great baseball school. It's kind of like Gonzaga in basketball. You don't really hear about Gonzaga in any other sport except men's basketball because Mark Few, their coach, has created a great program. The former coach at Coastal, Gary Gilmore, took over in like 95, 6, 7, somewhere in there, and turned that place into a traditional baseball power. And you're right, they came in, I covered it. I was there. Coastal walked off the LSU Tigers in Super Regional play to go to the World Series in 2016 and then won it all and beat Jay Johnson when he was at Arizona. This is a team that's in the regionals every year, that hosts regionals, that's been to Super Regionals. It's a baseball-rich area in South Carolina. They're in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. It's a baseball hotbed. Even if people go, who is that? Because it's not Clemson. It's not South Carolina. It's not North Carolina. It's Coastal Carolina. And so, but they're really good, and they've won like 23 or 25 straight games or something like that. So you don't do that unless I don't care what conference you're in. I get it. Their conference isn't the SEC, but that's still pretty impressive and amazing to do that.
No, I haven't lost in 2 months.
They're a formidable team, but I'll say this. LSU is loaded. Look, in the world we live in today with free transfers in college, open transfer, and NIL money, Jay Johnson's a great coach, and they get everybody's best shot. But they should be doing this because they've got, I think the second highest NIL budget in college baseball, and they can go pluck kids out of anywhere. And look, it's not that easy. He has to, put the team together and make it all work. But LSU is pretty awesome. Kate Anderson and Anthony Ianson are both going to be first-round draft picks. And when you can run those guys out there in games 1 and 2, you're at a huge advantage.
Fletch, I don't follow it like you, obviously, but the little bit I have followed it, it looks like Arkansas, Coastal Carolina, LSU are all really, really good. And anybody can beat anybody, it seems like, in that group, especially the LSU-Arkansas. I mean, those games were very, very close. Arkansas is really, really good. I think Coastal Carolina's winning streak's going to end. But if I had to wager, I think this is going to go to Monday night. What do you say?
I don't know if I'm as confident. I think Coastal's really good. Maybe I'm giving LSU too much, but I think LSU getting past Arkansas in one game set their rotation up to take Coastal in 2. And the reason why I say that is, look, 2 years ago, LSU had to come through the losers bracket. They had to They had to beat Wake Forest on a Wednesday and then use Paul Skeens to go 9 innings on Thursday. And they ended up winning 1-0 in the 11th when Tommy White walked it off. But they got to the championship series somewhat on a wing and a prayer of, who are we starting? Skeens can't pitch. Are some of these down-the-road guys going to really give us these awesome games? And they did. They gave them these fantastic games. And so now, though, LSU, because they didn't have to play Thursday, they're going to throw Anderson in game 1. They're going to throw Ianson in game 2, or vice versa, but I still think it's going to be Anderson 1, Ianson 2. And he's going to have a fresh bullpen, a mostly fresh bullpen, ready to go. And so, again, I just think that they are locked and loaded. Look, it reminds me a little bit of 2017. LSU played for the national championship in 2017 against the University of Florida. LSU had to come out of the losers bracket to get there against the Florida team that had an ace in Kyle Singer, who was a first-round draft pick who pitches in the big leagues. And Florida got there by winning 3 games, had their rotation and all their bullpen ready to go, and they steamrolled LSU in 2 games. So, again, I know Coastal's good. I know anything can happen in baseball. I don't want to discount them. But Jay Johnson won the national championship the hard way 2 years ago. He's got a team that's just as good this year, and they're healthy and ready and rested to go into this weekend.
It's another edition of Fridays with Fletcher Mackel with us. Fletcher confident LSU will win Saturday night at 6 and then win again Sunday afternoon at 1:30 and take the national championship. If necessary, if they split, it'd be Monday night at 6 o'clock. Hey, Fletch, NBA Finals, exactly what you want. Like the last time Coastal Carolina lost, that's when the NBA Finals started, like mid-April. There's no better postseason, 2 months long. I love that it's going to a Game 7. I like when it was all not up at 2 each, where it's down to a best of 3, and now it's a best of 1. The winner is the NBA champ.
Yeah, look, in all of sports, I mean, look, I don't watch a lot of hockey, but if there was a hockey Game 7, winner take all for the Stanley Cup, I'd probably watch it just for the drama and knowing what it means. And look, I love the NBA. There's nothing better than a Game 7. This is it. This is what we're playing for. We know when they walk off that court, somebody's the champion and somebody's not. So baseball, same thing. If a World Series game gets to Game 7, there's times when, and I played baseball, there's times when depending on who's in the World Series, I may not pay attention to Game 2 if the Saints are having a busy week that week, but I can rest assured I'm paying attention to Game 7 if it's a 1-game winner-take-all for a championship. So, yeah, I love the fact that OKC and Indiana's in a Game 7.
Is this sort of a – I love it too, but is it to like the general fan and history, is it like a mediocre NBA final as far as neither team is great? These are just like very, very good teams, and the NBA champion will be a very, very good team, but not a great team. Is that safe to say or no?
I don't think so. I disagree. I think that both of these teams, and especially Oklahoma City, is really on the cusp of greatness. What they've built in OKC is sustainable, and this could be the dawning of a Golden State Warriors type dynasty. This could be something that is very sustainable, where they are a force in the Western Conference for years to come. I think I would make that argument if it's Indiana, because the Eastern Conference, you can make an argument, is not as good as the Western Conference, and they are a really good team with a really great coach, and they've had a really young star player have some big games in the playoffs in Tyrese Halliburton. So maybe I could see that argument if Indiana won Game 7, but not if Oklahoma City wins Game 7. I mean, look, it's smaller market, while they may not have the history, because, Oklahoma City is only 17 years old as an NBA franchise, 2008-9, or 16 years old is an NBA franchise. They don't have the history. They do have a league MVP. They do have a lot of great talented players. They got the best executive in the NBA. I would say if Oklahoma City wins it, they're the cusp of being a kind of a great dynasty. So, but I get what you're saying. Is last year it was Boston, Dallas. It was Luka Doncic and Jason Tatum, two of the biggest names, the biggest stars. The Boston Celtics are next to the Lakers, or equally with the Lakers, the biggest brand in the NBA. Dallas is a mega market and a mega team. So I understand like what people say and try to kind of downplay it, that it's Indiana OKC. But I'm one of these people who thinks it went to 7 games. If you want to see great basketball, look, the Celtics swept the Celtics swept the Mavericks last year. The Mavericks, got there on a wing and a prayer, and Boston steamrolled everybody, and it wasn't even a series. They swept them. This is great basketball, 2 teams going hard, and so I kind of like it that it got to 7. And so I also think it shows for the first time since I've been covering the NBA since 2002, when the team relocated back to New Orleans and everybody became more interested in it because we have a league, a team in our city. It's the most fair the league has ever been. The NBA was always structured to benefit the Lakers and the Celtics and the Knicks and the Bulls and the Heat and the Mavericks. Big market teams, they pushed it. Well, now they realize, like the NFL, all for one for all. We're only going to be strong if all 30 are strong. And this year proves that to the New Orleanses, to the Memphises, to the Utahs, to the Sacramentos, to Portland, you all can win championships. If OKC and Indiana can get there, there's no more. The league is tilted to the star cities. They can all do it.
Fletcher Mackel's with us, another edition of Fridays with Fletch. Fletch, when we come back, just for a couple more minutes, going to get your take on who's going to win and a little football, Saints, LSU, and Tulane. Fletcher Mackel's with us for just a few more minutes. Another edition of Fridays with Fletch. Corey Johnson with you, a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Don't move.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. Get Audubon Gutters.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint. That's why.
I picked up Lebanon's Cafe for lunch yesterday. Chicken shawarma, some tabbouleh, a fried football kibbe. Carlina and Heba taking care of me. Lebanon's Cafe, some of the finest Middle Eastern food in the region. They're on Carrollton at Jeanette in the Carrollton section of Uptown, where Carrollton Avenue is one lane, right next to the streetcar barn, 7 days a week. 11 a.m. till 9:30 nightly, straight through the day. Lebanon's Cafe, yummy. Fletcher Mackles with us for a few more minutes. Fridays with Fletch. All right, Fletch, who's winning the NBA final? Let me ask it another way. Can Indiana win at Oklahoma City in Game 7?
Look, I'll say this. I thought Oklahoma City was going to win in 5 or 6. So the fact that Indiana's here, sure. Yes, absolutely. I still think Oklahoma City wins it in OKC in Game 7.
How's Halliburton?
How's Halliburton?
Yeah.
I mean, I assume he's going to be okay. I mean, I know he's dealing with an injury, but, like, look, here's the thing. You got all summer to do it. So, yeah.
Yep.
So,
No, I got you. Hey, the Lakers, $10 billion. And I don't even think it's 100% of the team. I think the Buss family's still keeping like 10, 15, 20%, like a Mark Cuban type deal.
It's not quite Mark Cuban. I can tell you more about it. It's the Busses are keeping 15% in total control in all decision-making for 3 years. So in the person who bought it, who owns the Dodgers, $10 billion. And I've been on this soapbox before, and I've told you this before. People want to talk about, there's certain like pundits out there who are like, boy, the NBA, I don't know about it. It's like, okay, the Celtics just sold for $6.5 billion 9 months ago. That's the most expensive sports franchise in the history of the world. The Lakers just went for $10 billion. So again, I don't know. I think if I were these kind of crazy pundits who just want to hate on the NBA, I'd probably walk it back, because like those leagues, teams don't sell for those prices if the league isn't healthy and good.
No, you know who must be sick right now? Every time this happens, Gary Schwest.
So how about this? So in 2011, going into 2012, Gary Schwest was a 35% owner of the Hornets. The Bensons ended up, the league wanted Gary Schwest to buy the franchise fully from George Shinn. He didn't, because of the oil spill, and I'm sure they were looking at the league of, what are these new TV deals going to be like? Are you going to make it more fair for smaller market teams?
And the league wasn't doing great. They weren't selling out everywhere. The team values weren't where they were. The league was at an all-time low.
The Golden State Warriors sold within a year of the Pelicans, the Hornets at the time, for $400 million. They're now worth $7 billion. Do you realize that Tom and Gail Benson paid $340 million for the Hornets? If Gail sold that team today, it would be an absolute rock bottom minimum of $3 billion. The Phoenix Suns sold for $4 billion 2 years ago. So again, like, the league has just gone through the stratosphere, and I don't think all these billionaires are the dumbest people in the world.
No, exactly.
These kind of investments.
Well, plus, look at the other side. These equity firms, they're buying 10% out of an NFL team for like 40%, 50% of that team's value. Like, they're not paying 10%. They're paying like 30 or 40% because they know these things skyrocket. There are only 32 of them. So no, that proves your point right there. The people that are in the money business are overpaying for a percentage today because they know in 5 years, 10 years, it'll be the best deal they ever made. Overpaying today. Hey, Fletch, the Pels, the NBA draft's next week, and the Pels have the 7th and now the 23rd by getting what, Indiana?
The draft it's Wednesday night, the first round, Thursday during the day, the second round, and they have 2 picks. And I am told they're keeping both. That they're taking. Joe Dumars believes this is a deep draft. That's what a lot of the experts are saying, and they're going to take. Look, anything can happen. They could trade these picks to move up or do something. But as of right now, I am being told they're going to take a shot at 7 and at 23.
Anything happening with the Saints after minicamp? Just wait till next month.
I mean, as long as Tyler Shuck gets his contract signed, and he's not a holdout at training camp, that would be the only thing to kind of monitor is that he's still unsigned, and I think we all believe he's going to be the starting quarterback. And if he's not there at the start of training camp, he's probably going to lose the job to Spencer Rattler.
A couple of highly anticipated college football seasons, LSU and Tulane, Fletch.
Yeah. Look, if LSU doesn't go to the playoffs this year, look, Brian Kelly can't get fired. He makes too much money. Scott Woodward would have to go with him. It's impossible. And I like Brian Kelly. I think he's really good. I think Garrett Nussmeier is really special. I think they should have been a playoff team last year. I think they're definitely going to be a playoff team this year. I think Nussmeier, and look, I'm not saying he's going to win the Heisman. I'm not saying he's going to go number 1 overall. But I think Burrow from year 1 to year 2 made a massive leap. Jaden Daniels from year 1 to year 2 as a starter made a massive leap. I think Garrett Nussmeier from year 1 to year 2 as a starter can make that similar type of leap, and they're going to be really good. John Summerall, I think, is the best young college coach in the entire sport. All of Division I, he's the best coach. I don't care what anybody says. We're going to be talking about this guy 10 years from now, saying, boy, he coached Tulane back in the day. He's that good. He's got to find a quarterback. I don't know. His team could be really good again and play in their 4th consecutive conference championship game this year, but he's got to find a quarterback. I don't know who's playing quarterback for him.
Yeah, he doesn't either. He's got 2 or 3 to choose from. They all have experience, so somebody will probably emerge. Will the whole season be consumed with where John Summerall's going next year?
It's going to be every year. I mean, look, this year it was Oklahoma. This year was North Carolina. Who knows next year if
Kentucky.
Venables is out in Oklahoma. And look, Oklahoma State, it could be. There was a lot of talk about that.
Kentucky.
For
Kentucky, I'm hearing. Kentucky.
Well, he's a Kentucky guy. I mean, he played at Kentucky. So Stoops last year, is he going to retire? Is he going to stay? The thing is now, all these coaches have gotten these ridiculous buyouts that it costs $50 million to get rid of them. So, and look, here's the thing. If and when Summerall gets a job at a major program like that, it's going to cost $50 to $60 million to get rid of him if they don't like him after 2 or 3 years.
Yep.
But I do think every single year he's that good. It's just going to be something that the fan base has to deal with.
All right, Fletch, before we let you get on the electric bike, what do you guys have going at Channel 6 for LSU baseball?
Kendall Duncan is there. We're going to have extensive coverage all week. And if they win, we'll be doing special shows every day and carrying the celebration live. So it's basically all LSU all day.
Fletch, thank you.
Okay.
That's Fletcher Mackel joining us. He does it every Friday. We don't pay him. He does it every Friday just out of friendship. Good guy. It's his day off. It's his day off. Every Fridays with Fletch, right around 4:20. No, I appreciate him joining us. That way we get updated. I don't have to follow all this stuff so closely because I don't want to follow this stuff so closely. I'm a fan now, not a sports talk show host like I was a decade plus ago. And I love sports, but I want to look up when the game starts, who's the pitcher, all that. I just want someone to tell me. So I like knowing what I know, kind of a macro, and I get the micro, the nitty gritty from Fletcher Mackel. Now, I got to mention this because this is a guy that 99% of the population watching, listening to the show, they're going to be like, who is this? Just a New Orleanian, about 40-something years old, early 40s, I believe. His name is Cameron Gilly. And in August, he's going to run the Leadville 100 in Colorado in the mountains, a 100-mile road race. No biking, no swimming, 100 miles of running. He's run one of these before, and it took about 23 hours. It's like all day. He'll be running 100 miles in Leadville, Colorado in August. And I was just chatting with him this morning, and I'm always asking him, how far do you go? And this guy is a humble guy. He's not trying to be funny or cocky or arrogant. He's the opposite. He's very humble. But not only is he in great physical shape, he is mentally special. Like he's got insane focus, mental fortitude, whatever you want to call it. He's just mentally sharp. No, I'll say, what did you ran this morning? Go, yeah. And I'll be like, how far did you go? He goes, not far. Just ripped off about 8 miles. Just did about 8 miles. And I'm just like, wow, How far did you go today? Went a little farther than last time. We did about 12 miles. I asked him today, I'm like, what are you running tomorrow? Or did you run today? He goes, no, I'm running tomorrow. What are you running? 46 miles. Actually, I didn't ask him. Someone else did. And they just told me that Cameron Gilly's running 46 miles tomorrow morning. And I'm just like, in the beginning, when I heard, I was just like, God, it's just unbelievable. And then about 5 minutes later, I'm laughing about it. I'm like, it's unbelievable, And I went and asked him again. I was like, 46 miles. And he goes, yeah. And I go, when are you starting? Like 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. And I'm like, when will you finish? He's like after lunch, like noon, 1 o'clock. So it's going to be like a 7 or 8 hour run straight, running 46 miles tomorrow, just getting in 46 miles in June, in this heat and humidity. And then he'll go to Colorado and probably do something similar at least once, run 30, 40, 50 miles in the mountains in Colorado to get ready to run 100 miles, the Leadville 100 in August. So this native New Orleanian Cameron Gilly just ripping off the miles like it's nothing. Yeah, tomorrow morning running 46 miles. 46 miles. That's just, my brain implodes. I'm like, I was talking to another guy who ran a marathon today. He's run a marathon before, which I'm blown away by that, 26 miles. And I was like, dude, the longest I've run in my life is probably 7 miles at one time. Like 7 miles. I've run about 3 or 4 10Ks. I've ran that Baton Rouge River Road run. I think it was what it was called back in the day. And I've run the Crescent City Classic a few times. And I think my best time when I was like 25 and was running a little bit, sort of almost trained for it, sort of. I think I did like 48:11. I think the next best time was like 55 minutes. All the others were like an hour, right over an hour, right under an hour, something like that. And I was 25 years old. The last one I ran, I might have been 30. No, it's mind blowing. In my life, I've run 6, 7 miles a handful of times. That's the farthest I've ever run. There's some folks that can do a half marathon, 13 miles. That's a long way. A marathon, 26.2. Or like Cameron Gilly, tomorrow morning, he's going to rip off 46 miles to get ready for August's Leadville.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center. It's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anyway. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. Oh, yeah. Coming up in about 10 minutes, we'll be blowing the 5 o'clock whistle. We do that every Friday, a little after 5 o'clock. Because we like representing. We like putting the spotlight on this very time of the week, a little after 5 on a Friday. For most of us, 100% of the work week in the books. For most of us, 100% of the weekend smack dab in front of you. That 5 o'clock whistle coming up in about 10 minutes. Appropriately brought to you by Katie's in Mid-City. I'll talk more about that in a second. Speaking of Katie's in Mid-City, Scott Craig joins us from Katie's and Francesca Deli in Lakeview. What up, Scott?
What's up, brother? How are you?
Doing well. Yourself?
I'm doing great, man. Doing absolutely great.
All right, man. What goodies you got cooking over at Katie's on a Friday night in June?
Well, I will tell you, I want to thank everyone for the support this week for Restaurant Week. It's been going very, very, very well.
Nice.
Way more than we expected.
That's great.
Like I normally go in and I make sure the food's coming out okay. I talk to some customers. I've been bussing tables and washing glasses and doing dishes the last 2 nights.
Wow.
Which, honestly, I love doing, man, because I like getting in it with everybody, And so it's been a great week. Just hoping it continues through the summer. It would be great.
Yeah.
We're probably going to continue something like a Restaurant Week menu until August, and then we'll go into culinary. So we'll be doing the same thing that whole month.
What is that menu like?
Well, culinary is going to be the same thing as the Restaurant Week menu.
Which is what? And what was that menu? How is it different from what you've been doing? Normal.
Well, you get a 4-course for dinner or a 3-course for lunch and a 3-course for brunch. And without getting into the details of what it is, because it's online, brunch is $22 for 3 courses.
That's
lunch
crazy.
is $25 for 3 courses. And dinner is $39 for 3 courses.
That's such a good deal.
And the feedback I've been getting, first of all, hats off to WGNO for the spot they did last week they came to Katie's and they interviewed me at Katie's, and I did some cooking for them. And it was first class because Amy Russo and Jeff Kent, her cameraman, reminded me of when Guy Fieri came, and the camera work that his cameraman did was so first class.
Yeah, I used to work with Jeff. He's a good guy. He knows his stuff. He's been at it for decades.
Bro, he was so good. And WGNO is so lucky to have the two of them, because if you see this spot, it is first class. And we worked really, really well together. We really enjoyed it. We didn't have to do many takes because I've done it quite a bit, and I'm used to working with people in the media and TV. So it was just smooth, and it came out so great. And the compliments I've gotten from people coming to Katie's from this spot that WGNO did, that LBJ actually, he was the
anchor.
He was at the anchor desk and was doing it. And it's first class. But what people are saying about our restaurant week menu, most restaurants go off of their menu and try to do something off the wall. What we do is, because we have a small kitchen and it's already difficult to execute, we do something from our regular menu. We just give you a really good deal on it. And so we've gotten a lot of compliments on that. People saying, look, we chose this one because we thought it was the best menu. And just, it's been a really great week for us, man, especially when the summer's already started so slow. And the people coming in this week have just been incredible. So we had a great Juneteenth day yesterday. We had a lot of support for that. And it's been a great week.
That's
and
awesome.
Today for lunch, we were doing well, and we were not expecting this at all. So, we've been a little short-staffed, but we won't be today. So,
what are some of the goodies on the Katie's menu tonight if someone's rolling into Mid-City?
Tonight, we were supposed to do the stuffed eggplant again today, and it slipped through the cracks. We're supposed to be doing that every Friday. We do a half of an eggplant hollowed out, and we stuff it with seafood stuffing. But we will have it next week. But for this weekend, we're doing seafood stuffed redfish with seafood cream and veggies, smoked braised pork shank with tomato demi-glace, smoked tomato demi-glace, over smothered cabbage and candied sweet potatoes. Panade veal over penne and spinach artichoke cream. Alligator kickers. They're so good, these little boogers. We're doing the fried chili rib apps. I took 2 orders last night home and just demolished them. I can't explain it, but these fried ribs are just unbelievably good.
You smoke them and they're ready, and you basically dust them and flash fry them real quick, right?
That's it.
Wow.
You smoke them, dust them, flash fry them, and we do our own little chili glaze. It's delicious.
And what are the alligator things about?
They're little spicy alligator kickers. We take alligator meat and we make a stuffing out of it, and put some cheese in it, and roll it in flour and drop it in the fryer.
Nice.
And it's really, really good. Just ground alligator meat. It's delicious.
Wow.
We're doing chicken pot pie for lunch today, and we will have it tomorrow. We also have our shrimp creole with fried catfish, which is a New Orleans classic, but we just happen to do it really, really well. For brunch Sunday, we'll be doing a pork belly burnt end sandwich on bun, dressed with fries.
Wow. A lot of comfort food there, Scott.
Well, that's what we are, Corey. It's a comfort food restaurant.
Yeah.
And, we've got a very large menu and a very small kitchen. And chefs have come by and friends of mine and said, I don't know how you execute this menu out of that kitchen. And I'm like, well, it's tough, but you've got to have a great staff.
Yep.
And I am very, very fortunate. Like after the pandemic, we did not have a great staff. And, customers really couldn't tell but the food wasn't coming out to my standards. And it's just little things that I don't like that they were doing. And I'm telling you, this management staff I have is the finest I've ever worked with. And that's going back to the early 80s.
Hey, Scott, can you hold that thought for a second? We're hitting the top of the hour break. Blue Boy's barking up a storm. He's foaming at the mouth. He wants some Katie's for dinner. I said he's got to eat this kibble first. We're going to come back, 5 o'clock powwow. We got Michael Heck joining us from Greater New Orleans Inc. later in the hour. Right now, we're visiting with New Orleans' own Scott Craig from Katie's and Francesca.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint. Paint Supply.
Oh, yeah. 5 o'clock hour, Fantasy Friday edition of the program. The 5 o'clock whistle, brought to you by Katie's, appropriately brought to you by Katie's. Drew Brees is right, this is New Orleans. I love the 5 o'clock whistle. Little after 5 o'clock on a Friday, 100% of the work week in the books, 100%. The whole weekend's in front of us. I like putting the spotlight on this very moment. Smell the roses. The 5 o'clock whistle, appropriately brought to you by Katie's in Mid-City, Iberville, corner Talamacas. More is better. More of the good things. A Mid-City mainstay. Really huge portions, great for sharing. New Orleans specialties, a true taste of New Orleans, old school. The quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant. Iberville, corner Talamacas. That's a few blocks behind Angelo Bricato's ice cream joint. Essentially in between Carrollton and Doc Francis Parkway and Bienville and Canal Street in the heart of Mid-City, as New Orleans as it gets. Why aren't you at Katie's right now? The 5 o'clock whistle on a Friday, always brought to you by Katie's in Mid-City. Speaking of Katie's, don't forget about Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. The old Charlie's Deli location. About 15 different specialty sandwiches to choose from or build your own. Pick the bread, meat, dressing, cheese, extras. They got a big 10-ounce burger. They've got great pizza just like Katie's. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria in Lakeview. Scott Craig is with us from Katie's and Francesca for a few more minutes on a Friday. Scott, real quick, before we talk about Francesca and some other goodies, why should folks head into Katie's tonight? I'm guessing those smoked ribs that you flash fry, that's the Grand Slam home run dish?
Oh, the fresh fish. And coming up next week, we're going to be getting some... I have a line on some barracuda. I'm going to try some different fish because we get fresh, beautiful redfish in every day. But I want to do another special with a different fish.
Now, that's a steak-like fish, right? That'll be like not a fillet, but a steak kind of cut?
Yes. They also have some great swordfish. I met with a new fish house today, Craig Borges. We don't have any soft shells. We haven't been able to get any. We don't have any flounder pockets. We haven't been able to get any. Everything's hot right now, so it's really tough to get cool stuff. But I'm telling you, we're doing smoked brisket tonight. We've got the redfish Nola, beautiful fresh redfish. We're doing stuffed redfish. I mean, there's a lot of things you can come in and get tonight. I just don't have crabs or flounder and the things I could say. I only have 5 left, so you better get there. I don't have anything like that.
And tell us real quick how you do these ribs.
Okay, there are ribs that we smoke.
It's a pork rib, beef rib?
It's a pork rib. It's
like a baby back, St. Louis?
Yeah, it's no, regular baby back. It's a true baby back rib. And we smoke them. First of all, we put a rub on them, which is phenomenal. And we rub them, smoke them, and then we chill them. And when we serve them to you, we put them on the grill. We sauce them a little bit and put them on the grill to crisp them up.
All right.
And they're so delicious. But with the chili ribs, I don't sauce them. I cut 4 ribs off, dust them, throw them in the deep fryer, crisp them up, and then toss them in our chili sauce, which is just delicious. I can't wait to eat some again tonight. I had them for dinner last night. They're so good.
Hey, over at
they were good.
What's that?
Some ranch dressing. I brought Stephanie some eggplant fingers home, and we had some ranch dressing, and I dipped them in the ranch dressing. Unbelievable. It was so good. So if you come get them tonight or any night, ask for some ranch dressing.
Nice on the side. I like that.
It's really good. I mean, it's just a good combo.
Hey, Francesca, what you got going? Friday night seafood and more, right?
Yeah, Francesca and Katie's. Listen, man, we need to get more people from other parts of the city to come to Francesca. We're doing okay, but we're just not as busy as we should be. That place is so good. I mean, I say this with the utmost confidence. We never have any complaints. We had a complaint about 2 months ago because some guy got a moon and it was a little burn on the edges. And all he had to do was tell us while he was there and we were fixed it. Made you another one, whatever. It's just, the place is so good. Chad, the chef and manager there, he does things differently. Like, I was tasting the vinaigrette there the other day. It's the same vinaigrette we do at Katie's. It's my recipe. It's vinaigrette. But at Katie's, it seems sometimes it's a little bit too tart because I think they put too much balsamic vinegar in it. So I was like, Chad, what are you doing differently? He says, I emulsify it. He actually goes the extra step and he emulsifies it, which is blending it up. And it sort of creams it. And it's absolutely delicious. So I'm going to do that at Katie's now, too. But Chad does little things that make things better because he cares so much. And, we do a lot less there than we do at Katie's. It's really hard to execute that huge menu at Katie's. But at the deli, man, he just does a really good job. And Chef Knuckles, he is the best pot cook I've ever worked with. And he loves just working at Katie's because he works in his own time. He doesn't have to deal with a lot of people because he's that type of chef that doesn't like to work with a lot of people around him. But when he cooks, I mean, this guy's unbelievable, man. He makes the meatloaf on Wednesdays, which was initially my mother's recipe, but I don't know what Knuckles has done to it, but it's the best meatloaf I've ever had. But we usually sell out by 5 o'clock. Because people come there just for the meatloaf on Wednesdays. But, he makes soups. He just does things the right way. And he handles all of our catering, and he just does things the right way. And I've got 2 people there that deeply care about the food and what Francesca is. So if you haven't been there, there's parking now right on Louisville. It's only about a third of a block away. Right on the corner, there's a bank, Fifth Savings. And out of the goodness of their hearts, believe me, they have built a parking lot behind their parking lot for the businesses on Harrison Avenue.
Wow.
Unbelievable. So we have a parking lot now.
There are a lot of businesses. I mean, in the day, Charlie's almost stood alone over there. Now there's like a dozen businesses around it.
Right.
Maybe more.
Savings. So I'm going to go open an account there, and I think everybody should because they are first-class people.
That is a great
I
move.
believe it when I walked in there and she told me that. She said, yeah, the owner wanted to do this.
Wow. That is unbelievable.
Nicest thing ever.
No, that really is, because there's a lot of businesses now on that stretch of Canal Boulevard. All they need to do now is have the city fix the street.
And Lakeview's not going to give us any park. And they're not going to give us signature ground. So
no, they've got that part, over in that commercial corridor, and I don't think they're going to extend it to West End. Want to keep it.
It would
green.
change everything for everybody, but
yeah. No, you could do it right and have a lot of trees and keep it green and still park there. But yeah, I don't see it happening over there.
The parking lot on the other end is beautiful.
No, it's great. I can't believe that the bank did that. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Hey, Scott, any final thoughts till next week?
Go Tigers, baby.
Yeah, you're right. Got a good one, huh? Tomorrow and Sunday. Fletcher Mackel thinks LSU takes 2 straight. I think they're going to play Monday.
Well, we've got Why does she say we're going to play Monday?
I think we're going to play. I think we, you, me, there'll be a Monday game is what I'm saying. I think they'll split.
Because they've got to get through Anderson and Ianson.
Yeah, no, you're right. We'll see. I hope I'm wrong. This team hadn't lost in 2 months. They're pretty damn good.
If we go to a third game with them, we're going to lose. That's my opinion.
Yikes.
We need to win the first 2 games.
It might happen that way. That's what Fletcher says. I hope that is the route.
Yeah.
Scott, always a pleasure, brother.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, you're right. That's Scott Craig from Katie's and Francesca Deli in Lakeview, joining us on a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Yeah, you right. Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans Inc. is going to join us in a second. Hey, every day this program on radio, on television, on YouTube. Yeah, we're on YouTube right now. The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson live on YouTube. Check us out after the fact. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. Doesn't cost a thing. All of it's brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kennebra, I-10 at Williams Boulevard. The Car Corner, right on the corner, right on the price. Home of Lamarck Ford for nearly 50 years. The #1 Lincoln dealership in the state. Those black label Lincoln SUVs are out of this world. Before you go buy any SUV, import, foreign, or domestic, check out the black label line of Lincoln SUVs at Lamarck Lincoln in Kenner. And don't forget about Lamarck Crescent City Ford in Elmwood. If you have a business, you need a commercial van, truck, or SUV, Lamarck Crescent City Ford. Crescent City Ford for over 80 years. Every day, this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex and Lamarck Crescent City Ford. Michael Hecht, Greater New Orleans Inc., joins us next with a slew of topics. Don't go anywhere on this Friday.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you on a Friday. Michael Hex with us from Greater New Orleans Inc. This segment always brought to you by Latrim, the global manufacturing giant. They're hiring at Latrim. You East Bankers, West Bankers, they got you covered in Elmwood. You North Shore folks, Latrim has an I-12 facility. For a full listing of positions available, go to latrim.com. Latrim spelled L-A-I-T-R-A-M, latrim.com. Michael, how are you?
Doing great, Corey. It's been nice to be a week past the session. You know, the sessions always end slightly manic, so it's nice to kind of get beyond that and, you know, brush the dirt off our shoulders and assess, you know, what happened.
I'm kind of, you know, a low expectation guy. I'm happy to see no speed cameras in Louisiana except in school zones. So come August 1st, bye-bye New Orleans speed cameras. Also, starting August 1st, drivers who drive in the left lane might get ticketed. Police are going to more aggressively pursue that because the left lane is for passing only. So I've got low expectations, Michael. Tell us some of the real stuff with traction that actually can affect our lives, maybe in a positive monetary way.
That's funny. Well, I'd say that number one for me on the good side is that the St. Bernard Transportation Corridor, a.k.a. the road that is going to go from the Newport over to Paris Road and up to 510, was approved to go forward as a public-private partnership. And that's enormous because that was really the political and logistical linchpin of the program. So that was really, really good news. What else am I happy about seeing in there? Angel tax credit got preserved. That was a good thing. What else were we really happy to see get done there? There's a new kind of quality jobs program at LED that's going to incentivize higher wages, which we really liked seeing that happen as well. And then there were a bunch of bad bills that we were able to beat back related to that would have killed carbon capture, which is kind of the linchpin of this whole energy revolution that we have, you know, in the state. I don't think anything else good. Oh, yeah, and then we got some insurance reform.
Yep.
Sorry, man.
Yep.
And look, you know, it's not everything. I don't even know if in and of itself in the specific it's going to make that much of a difference. But this is the first time we had the billboard attorneys even at the table. So it's a watershed.
Yeah, I'd like some legislation that puts a choke chain on that situation, you know? Because it not only encourages lawsuits, and we have like 2-to-1 compared to the rest of the country, it makes you assume you need a lawyer to file an insurance claim. It's bad news all around. Hey, at least the chemtrail legislation failed.
Yeah, I don't know. That went down.
Wow.
I don't know. You never know what's going to happen there. I mean, some of the other stuff that's weird or disappointing is that the legacy lawsuit stuff against oil and gas companies, you know, everybody had said, let's have a more rational framework for determining damages and making this something that creates justice for the public and holds the oil and gas companies accountable, but that doesn't create a windfall for the plaintiff bar. So we got that, but we got that in 26 months. So for the next 2 years plus, you know, I'm afraid it's going to be a lawsuit bonanza as people try to get in under the, under the gun for that. So that's not great. And then there's some other strange things that happen with inventory tax that we're going to have to sort out. So, you know, I asked Jasmine Brown, who runs all of our of our work in policy. I said, what would you give this session? And she said, a week ago I would have given it a 9.5, but after some of the wackiness and the energy stuff, I'd give it a 7 or a 7.5 at the end. And I don't know about you, Corey, but if I could give, every week or every season a 7 out of 10 in my life, I'd take it, right?
Hell, I'd take the legislature batting like baseball, hitting like 330. I'd be happy with it.
Yeah. You've been watching the NBA Finals, by the way. It's been really fun.
I love that. Down to one single game. Winner take all. How do you beat that? Plus, I was talking to Fletcher about it. They started 2 months ago, the NBA playoffs. Hard to beat NBA postseason.
Yeah, it's long, but it's nice to see two small market teams, that are in this thing. So, anyway, but I digress. Yeah, so overall, a pretty good session. Headed up to DC next week to go talk about tariffs and insurance reform. See if we can get some movement there.
Nice. Hey, Michael, you said the road from the port to I-510 has been approved. That means to go solicit to get it done, and it would be the trucks paying a toll that would pay for this road, correct?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think what's interesting about that is not only that it got passed, which is good, but the nature of how it got passed shows how the momentum has really swung on the port. Originally, in House Transportation Committee, the bill was defeated with only 4 people in favor. But then the governor got involved. I was appointed. And the next time in the same committee, it passed out with only 4 people against it. And then it went over to the Senate. And the Senate, it got unanimously out of the Senate committee. And then even more incredibly, got unanimously 36-0 off the Senate floor. And so I think there's 2 lessons in this. One is that the governor really matters in Louisiana. And the second is what I think my small contribution to this is, which is that I'm just going down to the parish and sitting down with people there, including some who have been violently opposed to this, and just talking with them, hearing what their concerns are, showing them some respect. And, it's amazing what a difference it makes when you actually show up and listen to people, So I think that's been a difference maker as well, I hope.
Hey, Michael, that trucking road, I think it's got to be open 24/7 to St. Bernard residents. Not obviously during a hurricane, there wouldn't be any trucking going on, so it would naturally be an evacuation route. But from what I understand, it's going to be 1 lane in each direction. So I guess you're going to be behind a lot of trucks, and you probably won't be able to pass. But I think that's better than not having access.
Any of that yet? But in terms of what that specific thing about the lanes, my guess is that it'll be a 3-lane road, where depending on the flow at that moment, you'll make it 2 lanes in one direction.
Gotcha.
Which means that if you had, for an evacuation, you have 3 lanes going out.
Yeah, it'd be only going north during evacuation. But in the morning, it might be 2 lanes going out. In the afternoon, 2 lanes coming in or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Now, what we don't know is, I would love to see St. Bernard residents have access all the time, for free, at a minimum, in off hours. I just don't have, I don't have the authority nor the knowledge to kind of comment on that yet, but at a minimum, we are increasing evacuation opportunities and emergency egress for the parish by 50%, which is, it's a really big deal.
Your next step is convincing these naysayers. Sidney Torres III, I don't know how you convince him to go to the other way. Do you even approach someone like that, or do you find a proponent that's as big as a Sidney Torres III that can help you represent Chalmette and St. Bernard?
No, I think you talk with everybody. It's just the nature of, I don't know, I guess it's just my approach to things is I'm going to give everybody a chance.
Smart.
To try to find something that maximizes the benefit and minimizes, the harm. And I think here's the reality of it. This project at this point is probably going to go forward. I don't know. I mean, it's the governor's behind it. Everybody understands that it's essential. I was out in Long Beach last weekend looking at a 24,000 container ship from Evergreen. And, there's no way we can take those ships, because of the bridge. So I think it's going to happen. And so my message now to my friends in St. Bernard is now is the moment of maximum leverage to strike the best deal and to address, I'll give you like an example of harm mitigation. One of the things that we want to have is what's called shore power, so that the ships, when they're docked, will get electricity and won't have to run their diesel engines. That's a good thing to make sure is in there. That's a harm mitigation. Or on the plus side, what does the Violet community need? A new recreation center, a new ball field, some new infrastructure. Now's the time to talk about that. So
New elementary school if you're going to take the one on the property, Well,
yeah, obviously that has to get rebuilt somewhere else. So I think that I'm just trying to get people into a more realistic and productive posture that ends up working out for everybody, because it's not in anybody's long-term benefit to jam this down the throat of anybody.
No, you got to approach it like how we approached the projects after Katrina. The people in the projects were as big a player in it with decision making as anyone. Hey, Michael, we've only got about a minute left. Something of vital importance. The Trump administration wants to cut NASA from $24 billion to $19 billion. They essentially want to everything we're doing at Michoud, they want to eliminate. The capsule, the rocket, they want to, SpaceX it or Origin or whatever. Isn't this where Steve Scalise and John Kennedy earn their money and save those Michoud jobs? Those are vital. We can't have our aerospace industry at Michoud go away.
Yeah, I think we're okay there. I'm going to be looking at that next week in D.C. as well. But the good news is that from our discussions so far, it looks like the midterm future of the Orion program is still secured, the mission to Mars. And then after that, going forward, the facility certainly could have we actually hope it will have more of a SpaceX Blue Origin type of work going on in there. But regardless of whether the work there is public or private, that facility with 1.5 million square feet under roof is unique or nearly unique. So we're going to have it. And so I don't think that we are at risk of losing that facility or those jobs. And actually, if we play this right, it could be more stable and have more jobs, because the U.S. is not abandoning space. It's quite the opposite.
Yeah.
And so, we have to really lean in and make sure about this. But so far, what common sense would say, which is that regardless of who's doing it, we're going to be building rockets.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right.
Why Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. A Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Yummy Trey Yen is open for business for the evening. You South Shore folks that have never been to Trey Yen and you've been hearing me talk about them for years, what are you waiting for? The best Chinese food in the metro area, bar none, the best. And some of the best Chinese food in America. There are like national publications that'll come out with like a top 50, top 25 Chinese restaurants in America. By the way, there are over 41,000 Chinese restaurants in the United States of America. Go Google some national top 25, top 50 Chinese restaurant lists. Chances are pretty darn good Trey Yen will be on that list. Trey Yen in Mandeville for over 45 years. The Wong brothers, so many great dishes. One of the best seafood restaurants in New Orleans. You love seafood? Trey Yen in Mandeville. Don't forget the Tung Cho sauce, their homemade signature sauce that's sweet and spicy. Absolutely outstanding. Tonight for dinner, Trey Yen in Mandeville. South Shore folks, I'm not exaggerating. It's not 35 or 40 minutes from Lakeside Mall. It's 25 minutes from Lakeside Shopping Center. You're coming off I-10 down Causeway. You're passing Lakeside on your left. In 25 minutes, it'll be Trey Yen on your left. Right across the Causeway, Trey Yen in Mandeville. So good. Worth the drive. Yummy. Trey Yen in Mandeville. No, I wish they had a South Shore location. They used to. They used to have a location about 25, 30 years ago on like the 5th floor of Jack's Brewery down in the French Quarter. And they probably had that for about a decade. Oh, boy, Trey Yen's so good. A lot going on. August 1st, a lot's going down in a good way. At least for me, I like these 2 laws. I think they're very important. August 1st, no speed cameras in Louisiana except in a school zone. And that is fantastic news because in New Orleans, we abuse the speed cameras. I mean, first off, if you notice, they're not in crappy neighborhoods. They're not in poor areas. They're in rich, affluent areas where the chances are good the city will get paid by that ticket. It's like the booting campaign. Not a lot of boots in the poor neighborhoods. Not a lot of cars getting booted in New Orleans East, not in the 9th Ward, but getting booted in Uptown and Mid-City and Lakeview all the time. No, that's how the city operates. It's a scam. It's a gimmick. The mayor, Junket Cantrell, when she ran for office, said she would eliminate the traffic cameras, part of her campaign promise. Got in office. Oh, didn't realize they generate this amount of money. Then you didn't do your homework when you were running. Just lies and deceit, reneges on it, and speed cameras have been in operation ever since. Now there's a state law. No speed cameras in Louisiana except in school zones. And even there, New Orleans breaks the law because New Orleans is lazy and dysfunctional. Their school zones, the lights blinking, 20-mile-an-hour school zone, are for 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the afternoon, which is at least an hour too much. At least an hour too much. New state law even agrees with me. You can only have a school zone signal going, especially if you're going to shoot a traffic camera in that school zone, an hour before the first bell rings and an hour after the final bell rings where you're letting all the students out. That's it. And that's all that's necessary. In New Orleans, this 6:45 to 8:45 or something like that, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. It's like a 2-hour block. And then in the afternoon, it's like 2:45 to 4:45. Two things. Orleans Parish Public Schools, or all schools in general, they don't all fall on the same time schedule. They fall on all different time schedules, especially the Orleans Parish Public Schools, which one school is run by the Orleans Parish Public School. All the other ones are charter schools. So they might start at 7:30. The next one might start at 8. The next one might start at 8:20. The next one may not start till 8:45. So this 2-hour window is a joke in the morning. And then the afternoon, they may get let out before the blinking light starts. So the 2 hours in the morning, the 2 hours in the afternoon, a joke. Especially when you drive by, it could be another hour and a half of that light going, another hour and a half of a 20-mile-an-hour zone, when everybody's in the school building already and there's no one coming, or the opposite, everybody's left for the day and it's going to blink for another hour, hour and a half. No, so just crazy, insane. They pass a law where if you're going to shoot, traffic cameras in their radar, you only can have the school zone going an hour before the first bell and an hour after. So New Orleans hasn't even gotten that together. As far as no speed cameras in Louisiana, period, except for school zones come August 1st, New Orleans is like, yeah, we're still trying to figure that out. There's nothing to figure out. Come August 1st, and especially because school will not be in session yet, all speed zone cameras will not be functioning anymore in New Orleans come August 1st. And then if they want, they can utilize the ones in school zones and only an hour before that school starts and an hour after it lets out. That's it. That's it. So the days of all these traffic cameras all over Metro New Orleans end August 1st. Thank God. Thank God. What a waste of time. No one comes to New Orleans nervous about people drive like crazy, I'm going to get killed. Worry about education, infrastructure, economy, and crime. Not ripping off taxpayers, legal taxpayers, doing 43 and a 35. It's pathetic. Also, August 1st, more great news for drivers. August 1st, law enforcement is going to step up, especially state police. Folks driving in the left lane, they're going to enforce the law that already exists, and the penalties increase. So they're going to be enforcing the law. They're going to be monitoring it more, especially the state police, and the violation, the ticket you'll get will be more expensive. Stay out of the left lane unless you are passing a vehicle. I mean, I say this, and I'm telling you, I can feel it. It does not resonate with so many. First off, they're like, what do you mean it's illegal to drive in the left lane? Like, they don't believe it. They almost don't believe that. Like right now, if you're going from Kenner to Laplace and you're just driving in the left lane, like you're not paying attention to driving, you're not getting over to the right, you didn't pass someone and get over to the right, you're just driving unconsciously in the left lane, like with the flow of traffic, you are breaking the law. If you like it or not, if you agree with me or not, it's irrelevant. It's the law, and that's a fact. Driving from Kenner to LaPlace in the left lane of the interstate is illegal. Driving in the left lane on the causeway is illegal. Driving from New Orleans East to Slidell on the twin span in the left lane is illegal. Driving on the interstate period through Metairie, through New Orleans East, just driving in the left lane is illegal. Law enforcement's going to step it up, and they're going to start pulling people over, and I love it. I love it because driving in the left lane is illegal. No, I swear some people are like, they don't believe it, or I'm passing. It just takes me 2 minutes to pass. If it takes you 2 minutes to pass, then you're driving in the left lane. Get in the left lane, aggressively pass, get back over to the right. It's real simple. It's real simple. And here's the kicker. Speed limit is irrelevant. If you're driving in the left lane in a 70-mile-an-hour zone, doing 70, and someone is coming up your rear end and you don't get over, you're breaking the law. And you can go, they're breaking the law speeding. That's their problem. You're breaking the law blocking, driving in the left lane. Get over to the right. Now, I love when people get over in the left lane and don't pass. It's like, why didn't you just stay over in the right lane behind that other vehicle so other people can pass? No, I love it. August 1st, no speed cameras in Louisiana, including New Orleans. And then later in August, when school starts, you can have the speed cameras in school zones only, but only for an hour before school starts and an hour after. Has to be calibrated to each individual school. New Orleans is going to have a major problem with this. You're going to be having people getting speeding tickets in a school zone and then contesting it saying, I got that ticket at 4:15. School let out at 3 o'clock. By law, you only can ticket me up till 4 o'clock. The 20-mile-an-hour zone, by law, has to stop at 4 o'clock, an hour after the last bell. The city or municipality somewhere in the state of Louisiana, they can't just arbitrarily extend 20-mile-an-hour school zones just arbitrarily for no reason. No, so these laws adversely affect dysfunctional New Orleans. And they're good laws. The only thing they should have done with no driving in the left lane, like enforcing it and upping the fine, which is all great. In metro areas like Orleans and Jefferson Parish, East Baton Rouge, in Lake Charles, Alexandria, Shreveport, Monroe, no 18-wheelers in the left lane of the interstate, period. Never. Like, if I'm going like from, the Superdome to the airport, there should be no 18-wheeler in the left lane. Now, after the airport, you get on the twin span going to LaPlace, an 18-wheeler can pass in the left lane. Passing only, no driving in the left lane. But in the city, there should be no 18-wheelers in the left lane, period. That would be a nice addition to the enforcing the law that already exists. Yeah, I know a lot of you don't believe it, you don't get it, and that's fine. But driving in the left lane is illegal. Law enforcement's going to start enforcing that, and the fines are much more than they used to be. And I love it because it's the law. Get out of the left lane. Let people pass. Quit being unaware, or worse, aware and being belligerent. Like you losers that try to control traffic and I'll show you and let other people control how you live. That's insane, man. I look in my rearview mirror, someone's coming up my rear end, I just get the hell out of the way. I clear out for them. Why would I block them? If they're drunk or crazy or speeding, I don't care. It could be someone going to the hospital, having a baby. Could be someone going to the hospital that's bleeding to death. I get out of the way when someone's coming up my rear end fast. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. You want more pretty simple? Helm, paint, and decorating. You got a paint project to knock out in Metro New Orleans and Metro Baton Rouge? Paint ain't paint. Helm, paint, and decorating. Best paint on the planet. Benjamin Moore covers more per gallon than the competitors. You can Google that. High quality Benjamin Moore paint. 7 locations in New Orleans, 4 in Metro Baton Rouge. When you got to paint in Metro New Orleans, when you got to paint in Metro Baton Rouge, Helm, paint, and decorating. They'll steer you in the right direction.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. A Fantasy Friday edition of the program. As predicted, no surprises here. I mean, why would you be shocked by this? What did I tell you, 99% chance? A federal appeals court, the Louisiana Fifth Circuit, I mean, a very conservative court. Some say one of the most conservative courts in the country. As predicted, Louisiana's 10 Commandments law is unconstitutional. Who thought it wouldn't be? Seriously. If you don't think it's a problem or you don't think it's unconstitutional, I'm not trying to be a jerk. You don't know the Constitution. You don't understand America and how it works, and you're very biased on your religion. I'm Christian. I'm Catholic. The 10 Commandments are like, well, maybe not 1, 2, and 3, but 4 through 10. I don't think God cares about 1, 2, and 3 personally. I don't think my God, Jesus, has to tell you to only worship him and not other gods and all that. I think Jesus is pretty secure. So for me, 4 through 10 are fantastic. I like the 10 Commandments. But that's my religion. That's my faith. If some like moral code out of the Quran or some Buddhist, prophecy or some kind of moral code they go by, hey, we're going to put the 7 tenets of Buddhism on a board. People in Louisiana would have freaked out. Buddhism? Why Buddhism? Just don't know what's good or bad about Buddhism. All they know is it's not Christianity, and they'd lose their you-know-what over it. But Christianity's fine. It's like, my thing's fine, your thing's not. That's not how America works. That's what's great about America. Now, this thing's real simple. I remember a few years ago, some overzealous, hyper-religious, evangelical legislator who's lazy. This is all about lazy, not doing your job and wanting quick votes, appeasing and placating certain people. He wanted to put a 10 Commandments monument on the Capitol grounds, public property. It's like, why? Why the 10 Commandments? It's ridiculous. Right away, a group out of like South Carolina, some devil-worshiping group, wanted their statue put up. It was like a throne with the devil sitting on it, clearly the devil, with like a boy and a girl sitting on the devil's lap while he's reading to them. And then there's this spaghetti monster religion, which is just a made-up religion. They wanted their monument out there as well. So right away, this legislator realized, boy, it's everybody or nobody. That's how America works. Everybody or nobody. I think in Slidell, if I'm not mistaken, there's at a courthouse, they put up a picture of Jesus Christ. My God, that's my God, my faith. And the legal ruling was, I mean, could you imagine someone who's not a Christian, doesn't believe in God, or is a Muslim or a Jew? They go to court and it's like the court's biased. It helps if you're a Christian. Jesus' picture there. People would freak out if you had some Allah or, any other Buddhist, picture. People would lose their minds, but Jesus is okay. So a judge ruled, no, it's all or none. So Slidell's like, all. So I think there's like lots of photos on that wall. Like Jesus is in the middle and there's all kind of stuff surrounding it now. No, it's just silly. And this is politics at its worst. This is like the illegal aliens thing. This is a problem that's not real, that doesn't exist. I'm Christian and Catholic and I own a gun. No one's coming after my religion or my Glock. No one. I have no worry about someone taking my Christianity, my Catholicism away, or my gun. So these are make-believe things like illegal aliens. These are things lazy politicians throw out because they don't want to work. They don't want to tell you what the problems are. And, hey, we may have to take a step backwards. That's painful to take a few steps forward, but we'll be better in the long run. That's leadership. Instead, it's, illegal aliens, which... we've talked about this forever. Been a part of the fabric of this country since day one. The oil of the machine. They keep it going. They do jobs no one wants to do. They keep prices low. Ask conservative dairy farmers or conservative farmers or meatpacking processing plant owners. They're all conservative Republicans, basically. They rely on migrant workers, on illegal aliens. So that's just a BS issue. And this 10 Commandments thing is just the evangelical, hyper-right, religious types, the zealots. They like this. They wouldn't like, the equal and opposite Buddha with some good thoughts or, Allah, but Jesus is fine. Thank goodness in the United States of America, we have a constitution that allows freedom of religion. I get to choose my faith. No one's restricting me for a second. But in a public school setting, you can't go stick the 10 Commandments up. It's all or none. Everybody's or none. So it's out of there. As predicted, no surprises here. State AG Liz Murrow will appeal. Playing politics, that's all that is. Landry and her can't lose. They're going to lose. It's not going to happen, the 10 Commandments in the classrooms. But they fought for that, and that will be remembered. So if it were to happen where the fluke, the 1 out of 100, they could stay there, the 10 Commandments mounted in a classroom, they win. If the reality kicks in, 99.9%, it's unconstitutional. The reality, what is happening, they still win because they tried. That's politics at its worst. I want politicians to actually do for me, you know? No, that's terrible behavior. But just as I predicted, no surprises at all on this program. Louisiana's 10 Commandments law is clearly unconstitutional. I mean, you'd have to not know how America operates, have no idea of what the Constitution's about to miss that one. Hey, don't miss Art and Eyes. They're open till 7 tonight. They're open tomorrow. They're open on Sunday. The finest eyewear in the region. To get frames like you get at Art and Eyes, you probably got to go to California and New York. I'm not kidding you. An incredible eyewear boutique. Eyewear that's as unique as you. If you're like me and you've been wearing prescription frames for decades, Art and Eyes on Magazine. Don't go waste any money at the mall or some chain store. Go to this unique eyewear place that has name brands that are of the highest quality in the world from Europe, Japan, the United States. Art and Eyes on Magazine. If you need a great pair of sunglasses, it's summertime. Protect those eyes with high quality eyewear. Art and Eyes on Magazine. Google them. Art and Eyes on Magazine. Corey Johnson with you. Fantasy Friday. Blue Boy barking up a storm. What's that, buddy? Thanks to everybody who watched and listened. Thanks to Fletcher Mackel and Scott Craig and Michael Heck from Greater New Orleans Inc. for joining us. Get ready for the weekend. You're right, Blue Boy. You ready for some kibble and a little walk, buddy? The weekend's upon us. Go Tigers. Hopefully Monday we're talking about national champs. Have a great Go LSU.
You're on the neutral ground. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.
Yes, it is. Weekend.